Okay, so topic is, how this one Ludwig video cured all of my anxiety. That might sound like a little bit of an exaggeration, and it is, but the more I examine this video, and I probably thought a little bit too into it, considering what it is, the more it actually helped me feel a little bit at ease.
What to do or dream? I don't know what to do or dream. I don't know what to do or dream. I don't know what to do or dream.
Now, in case anybody needs context here, this is Ludwig Ahgren, the guy that has uploaded every single day to YouTube for the last 2 years. Hasn't missed a single upload in 2 years. He has recently because he's decided to change how he does this channel, but every single day for 2 years is pretty crazy. That consistency is almost unheard of. Not only has he uploaded every single day, he's streamed these ideas, executed them on stream, and then had them edited into YouTube videos. A lot of people would refer to him, at least currently, as the king of Twitch, because not only was he putting out great content for stream, he was also planning these big ass events that you've seen on a lot of other streamers, collabs on their channels, on their YouTube channels, maybe even on their streams. And he's got a lot of different hats that he can wear. He can do a bunch of different things. But at the end of the day, what it all surmises to is that he's an amazing content creator. And I think the fact that someone like him, who has put so much time and effort and executed things so incredibly well, to be saying to himself before a stream, I don't know what to do on stream, is really, really, really humbling. And the reason I say that something like that cures my anxiety, at least for me, is because I feel like when you go on social media, right, you always see people posting the best of what they're doing. Whether you go on Twitter, whether you go on Instagram, even sometimes on Twitch, even though it's not the same, it's not that highlight reel you get from these other social medias. You go on these other platforms, and I'll be honest, I think for the most part they make people kind of sad. Even if, you're not a very selfish person, you always start to feel this insecurity that you are doing worse than other people. I just think that it's so easy to fall into the comparison trap that social media puts in front of you, making you feel like you need to be better, when the reality is you should just focus on yourself and whatever it is that you need to do, and not give in to all of the negativity that comes from viewing other people's success. Social media is not always exactly what it appears to be. Someone might be popping off, hitting 1 million followers, maybe getting a new job, but that's just one piece of their life. That doesn't talk about all the other things that are going badly in their life that you might be feeling, where you think, I'm only experiencing sadness. In high school or even throughout college, when I would see other people's social media, like Twitter and Instagram, it didn't affect me as much back then. It would sting very little. I'd be like, shit, I could be doing a little bit better, but I'm glad they're doing well. Now that social media is my job, that sting of when I feel people or see people doing better than me went from 1% to 85. It sounds like I'm exaggerating, but that's how much more prevalent those thoughts are in my mind. It is so easy to see thousands of content creators doing better than I am in whatever instance or moment that they're at in their journey, and I see that shit and I just get sad and I get depressed and I get demotivated. And when I get demotivated and I don't do any work, that feeling builds upon itself, because now I see more people doing better than me and I'm doing even less work and I'm streaming even less and I'm putting out even less YouTube videos, and it just intensifies into this deep vicious cycle where I just feel really, really bad, and it gets worse the more I see other people do better. And that's why seeing someone who is at least perceived to be at the top of the game actually struggling to figure out what to do that day on stream, when it seems like for 2 years they've known what to do on stream as if it was written in the stars and laid out in front of them on a script, it makes it easier for me to do what I do, knowing that somebody else has that same struggle. The struggles are the same, they don't ever change. And so hopefully, if I can keep that perspective, me doing what I need to do so I can focus on myself and my happiness will be a lot easier. And hopefully it'll make it easier for you. What I find crazy, right, is sometimes even people that are really, really nice and really, really willing and are the first people to cheer for someone else when they start doing well, they go on these websites and they see everyone else be so happy or be so proud of themselves for what they're doing and posting all these accomplishments that they have, that even people who are the first to cheer for them, even they start to feel bad because they feel like they're not accomplishing anything. And then it creates this whole in negative circle jerk of why do I feel so bad seeing somebody else do well? What's wrong with me? Why am I not happy for this other person? I know I've felt that. I know I've seen other people doing successful and been upset by it, even though I like that person. And all of a sudden I'm sitting here going, wow, I'm a lot bigger of an asshole than I thought I was. I think what the reality is, it's not consciously thoughts that you're trying to have where you feel jealous, where you feel angry, or you feel worse, that you're inferior to somebody else. But these are just thoughts that your brain have, because not every thought that goes through your mind is something that you have consciously put there. For someone like Ludwig, who is clearly successful and is continuing to be successful and constantly trying to find new ways to be successful, for someone like that to sing I don't know what to do on Tweem, I think it just goes to show that whether you are happy with where you're at and you're doing really well, or you're not, you and everybody else who are posting their highlight reels are all very close to the same person. You're not a completely different human being who just doesn't have it, who is that much worse than Ludwig or whoever it is you're comparing yourself to on social media. It's just that these other people have been willing and are currently doing those things to make themselves stand out or to do better, because clearly it's what they wanted to do. No one's held a gun to their head and told them to post the picture of them going on that cruise to the Bahamas on Instagram. And I think the same thing applies to you and to me. I say this to me because I look at the content that I put out, some of it not doing as well as it used to, or some of it that just doesn't do well at all. And I'm like, well, it's not a Ludwig video. But the reality is the guy who has found success, who I might perceive to be better than me, is just someone who is also doing the same thing as me and is just trying to tweak it, get it to be better, and constantly trying to do what they think to be is the right thing. I don't know if that helps anybody here, but I think, the conclusion of all of that is just that you're not shit. You're not the shit that your brain tells you are, and that the other people that are doing really well, whether they be content creator, influencers, and coworkers, or just friends or family or whoever else they may be, maybe it's Tanner from high school. These are just people who are trying to do a thing for themselves, the same way that you can try and do a thing for yourself. They're probably looking at when you do something cool and see, man, now I'm a piece of shit. And Tanner all of a sudden thinks that you're the man and that he's not doing enough.